Hi, my name is Kudzie Mapiye, and on this channel, I do videos about my life living here in Australia, and I also share different life lessons that I've learned along the way. And today, I'm going to be sharing a life lesson. And this is a life lesson that I've drawn from my career, the earlier days in my career, and it's about limiting yourself and not staying in that place where you're limiting yourself, where you're not maximizing your potential. So when I first entered the corporate workplace, I was in a junior role, and I remember people used to refer to me as, the junior or the graduate, and I really took on that label and I wore it. I really embodied everything junior and graduate. I minimized even my potential. I remember holding back a lot, even when I wanted to voice my opinion on different projects. When I could see an opportunity to do things better, I would always hold back because I would see myself as a junior, someone who's not very much experienced in the field. And I realized that, looking back, I was really holding myself as a prisoner of other people's expectations. People were expecting me to perform at a junior level. People were expecting me to think at a junior level, even though I knew that I could do above that. But I kind of played to that role and, didn't want to upset anyone, didn't want to rock the boat, so I would always limit myself. And that really slowed down my career because I wouldn't put my hand up even when it came for opportunities to advance. I remember this one time there was a role that was going in the team that was in at that time, and I knew that I was qualified for this role. I was so confident in my abilities to perform that role, and it was a senior role to what I was doing. And I did something that I regret when I look back. There was another lady who was in our team who was a bit more senior, and I actually didn't go for that role because I knew that she was going to go for it. And I said, well, she's more senior, she'll probably get it. And I knew that, I had the opportunity, I had the capabilities, but I played small to a junior to say, oh, she'll be so offended if she finds out that, I've also applied for that senior role and she's been eyeing that role for a while. And I was limiting myself, just holding myself back and playing to that junior role. And what I've learned from that as I have grown in age and experience in the workplace is never hold yourself as a prisoner of what other people think of you and what other people expect of you. Because I think, especially being a Black woman in the workplace, I have met people who have, I've entered into other teams where people have not been as confident in my abilities because maybe of the color of my skin, or because they think, oh, I look a little bit young, so I'm not, I don't know what I'm doing, or I need a bit of hand holding. And I would never question that. I wouldn't go and say, no, I'm okay, I don't need your help, I'm fine, I can do this on my own. When people offered help, even if it felt like it was suffocating, I would just say, okay, yeah, and accept the help, even if I knew I didn't need it. And I've just realized that, as I've grown, believing in yourself is key for your own self-esteem, and even to advance where you want to go in life, whether it's in your career, in whatever field that you want to advance. You need to believe in yourself, and you shouldn't look at what other people think of you. Even if you've just entered an area, whether it's an area of business and there are people who are more experienced in that business, they've been there for more years, and you feel like, you're a bit junior in that space. If you feel you want to forge ahead and go full force, go for it. Don't be limited by what other people perceive of you, and what other people think of you, and where you should go or where you shouldn't go. You should determine where you go based on the potential that you hold within yourself. And once I started doing that, even in the workplace, I started harnessing so many more opportunities that were presented to me because I wasn't playing to what other people expected of me. Because sometimes, even in the workplace, you enter a team, you go into a role and then maybe you're in it for a few months and then you see another opportunity, and then it's kind of like, oh, but I just have to, I've just started, I can't go for that other big opportunity. People would think I'm being too ambitious. People would think whatever. It doesn't matter what people think. You should always go for what you know you are capable of, and really give your all in whatever space that you're in, and never limit yourself. And I know this goes for families as well. We all know that there are different family dynamics. You know, there's the golden child, there's the black sheep, there's that one that, you know, people expect more of, and there are those children that people might not have expected more of out of your life. But that shouldn't limit what you go for, and that shouldn't limit how far ahead you go in your life. And even breaking family norms or doing things that haven't been done in generations, you shouldn't limit yourself. Don't look at your family circumstances, at your generational patterns, and think, oh, no one in my family has ever owned a business that's at this scale. No one has ever advanced to this level of education. No one has ever amassed this amount of money or anything like that. Don't limit yourself to the expectations of your group, the expectations of your family, and the expectations that other people have put on you. The moment you free yourself from that, it's like literally walking out of a prison, because people's expectations, society's expectations, can be quite confining, and you will feel like you're literally locked up and you can't really express your potential. So you should really think outside of the box that you have been put in, or you have put yourself in, and allow yourself to flourish. Allow yourself to push the boundaries. Allow yourself to discover just how far you can go. You know, I always, you know, there's this movie, I'm sure, you know, many of you have heard of it or even watched it, Moana. And one thing that's always intrigued me about, you know, the storyline in Moana is it's about this girl who is on this island, and her people have always been on this island, but she has always had this dream to go further, to explore, to see what else lies beyond the island. And you know, her father is always telling her, no, Moana, this is where you belong, this is where your people are, don't go out there, no one has ever gone that far. And she's always wondered, and there are even songs like, you know, I'm not gonna try and sing, you know, the songs from Moana, but I'm sure you know the song How Far I'll Go. You can even like search it and really listen to the lyrics. They are so powerful. This young girl is asking herself, you know, I can see the line at the sea, I can see the limit, but I wonder how far I can go. And then the storyline ends up evolving into her taking the voyage, crossing that line that her people had always told her not to cross, and she actually ends up saving her whole village, saving her people. So you could be the person who saves your people, who saves your family, who saves your generation. And you know, don't limit yourself to where people say no one has ever gone that far, don't cross this line. Even in the workplace, there's never been a person this young who has gotten that role. There's never been a person of this race who has gone that far. Don't limit yourself based on what history has said, what history has written. You can always write your new story. You can always explore. You can always break the boundaries, and you can always go further. And no, like Moana, you'll never know how far you go unless you take that journey and you discover just how far you can go. So I hope that spoke to someone, not to limit your potential, to give it your all. Even if you're new in something, don't go in it like you're new. Don't go in it like, you know, like you're a beginner. Go in it like you're a pro. Give it your best. Give it 100%. Don't introduce yourself, even if you're entering a new workplace. Don't introduce yourself as, oh, I'm the new girl, or, you know, I've just joined it. Introduce yourself as your potential, like, you know, I'm this person, I have experience in this and this and this, and you know, be confident in yourself. Arrive ready, arrive raring to go, and always look at yourself as what you want to become, not what is expected of you or what your own limitations are on your life. So that's it from me, guys. I will see you in my next video.